voices, the stories of the departed, for in the shadows hides the evil that lurks within. As the light dies and slowly becomes night, the realm of the spirits rule the world. In the darkness of your mind hides your own inner demons, brings to life your deepest fears. Do you have what it takes to speak to the dead? Do you accept your own mortality? In the search for life after life, have you ever seen a ghost, spirit, or demon? Have the lights flickered and the room became as cold as death itself? Maybe you have, maybe it was your own subconscious preparing you for death. Come spend some of what's left of your own existence in our search for the answers hidden behind the veil. Shed off the blinders and open your mind's eye. Listen to the story. We are they, we are incarnate, paranormal.
And what is up, everybody? Welcome back to part 2. Yeah, we got on just over 2 hours. Excuse me 1 second. Oh, excuse me. That always happens right when I start a show. I gotta sneeze. But yeah, we got through the rest of MDS Recorder. We closed that one out. We're officially done with 2 recorders. Who would have thunk that one? Spent about 30 minutes after the show trying to figure out which recorder to do next. We've done, Mattress Factory. We did last night. Overnight, we did Women's. So I switched it up a little bit. We're going to jump over to Vexus Recorder. Night 1 is in Building 7. That's up on the hill. Yeah, that's night 1. I don't anticipate much out of this one, but it's all loaded up. We're ready to kind of roll with this. Let's kind of see where it goes. Of course, we're going to jump through the quiet areas. Maybe. See how it plays out. I'm going to go ahead and hit play. Then we're going to, I'm going to turn off the camera and sneeze again. So let's get to it. All right, this is Brent with Incarnate Paranormal, Nevada State Prison, Visit 4, Night 1. This is Vexus Recorder being left in Building 7 in B Block. I think the previous year, I don't think we got anything out of here. But 7 was a bad one. We'll have to see. Might surprise us this year. There's a lot of pops in here. So we might get lucky somewhere in here. This might force us to listen to the whole thing and not be able to jump around, which is all right. You kind of hope for these EVPs and buildings you don't spend a lot of time in. But we shall see. And David snuck back in. How you doing, bud? Trying to get all these shows in. We still got a long way to go, guys. And if we finish everything up before the next investigation, we're going to dive back into older evidence that we haven't touched. That, going back to old residential stuff that I can share. Kind of see what happens. Go back, replay some old residential videos. Go over some old evidence and stuff. Yeah, redo some stuff. I think it'd be a good idea. Because now that we're trying to be more frequent than last year, I think we should be okay. I mean, we're already 30 EVPs deep. Wow. Yeah, we're 30 deep after 2 recorders. Bird or something. It seems to be flowing a whole lot better too. Just picking a recorder, night 1 2 3. Picking a recorder, night 1 2 3. It seems like it's working better for us than going Vexus 1, explicit, deads, just switching recorders after every night, then finishing out night 1, then doing night 2, then doing night 3. Doing by recorder. What's going on, Moose? Welcome back for part 2. We are analyzing Vexus Recorder in Building 7. Which would be, let me see if I can find the picture again. Building 7 would be the first building up here on the left. This would be Building 7. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Oh no, 6. Building 7 would be this one. I take that back. Building 7's right here on the right. Let me correct myself. Like I said, I am not anticipating a lot out of this one. We'll say there's a lot of residual sounds. Which most we didn't hear with the naked ear. Uh, the previous year, uh, Deds and I we actually heard something with the naked ear, and we debunked it. There was a problem with the ceiling. Uh, the center of the rotunda, it's got like a fiberglass dome, and there was some flashings on the top that were loose. Every time the wind had hit it, they'd slap. So maybe. Now, if we get too hard up, I re-downloaded World of Warships. So don't ask me why. It's something just told me to download it. Now these spikes up here, coming up in it's like hot pink and orange. I'm willing to bet that's either a motorcycle or an airplane. Who knows? At this point, anything's possible. Sounds like distant doors opening. That sounds like an EVP. Really, really freaking low, but it sounds like a whisper. Shit. Let's see if we can clean it up, maybe. More than likely, it's not. Uh, and there's a little peak in there. Entirely possible now. Okay. Okay. No, it's not. Oh well. And like I said, airplane or motorcycle. And I still wonder all the time with these spirits, if they were here before the 40s, we're up in the newer area, but down, hold on, down in the older buildings, if they hear an airplane, does that scare them? Some of them weren't around when airplanes were in the air. It's like, or at least passenger airplanes. 40s, yeah, they were, but 30s, 20s, not as prevalent as they are today. You know, they hear motorcycles, all these cars. Is that scaring some of these older spirits? You know dang well they don't know what that is. You know, 1862, they don't know what a car is. You know, it's like how do you explain that to somebody from that time period? Just a horse and buggy. Uh, I'd explain it like a train. It's a very small steam engine. It's a very small train that can drive on roads. They had roads for horse and buggies, of course. Just tell them it's a train that can drive on roads. I mean, that's how I'd try to explain it to them. Tell them, you know, imagine a steam locomotive, a small steam locomotive that can drive on roads with tires like a horse and buggy. Who knows? And that's another thing I try to teach people in the field. Try to keep the time frame in mind. Like you're investigating the prison, yeah, up to 2006. But how far back? You're investigating these old ghost towns that go all the way back to 1906. A lot of people don't keep that in mind when they say, "Oh, talking to this box or talking to this eddy meter." What the hell is an eddy meter? So, Makes you wonder if you took a telegraph to an investigation and told the spirits to tap out their answers. Wonder if they could do it. Actually, I think after the stream, I'm gonna see if I could find an old telegraph, and I'll take it to somewhere old and be set on the table. Be like, all right, send me a message. Granted, I'd have to get somebody to decipher it, but I think it'd be a good experiment. Who knows? It'd be something to see. Could you imagine just sitting in a dark room with your GoPro, the light on that freaking telegraph? It's like, send me a message over here. This, it'd be like, whoa. You'd be sitting there just like deer in headlights, going, "Is this really happening?" You'd be frozen. Yeah, you would be frozen stiff from fear. Yeah, exactly. I mean, all you gotta do is bring up the chart and see if you could figure it out. But you start playing that on stream, and somebody's gonna be like, "Oh, you were manipulating it." No, because I don't know Morse code. Sorry. It's kind of why I like trail cams too. Put a trail cam in an area nobody's gonna go into. I've got a night vision trail camera, but freaking batteries it takes like freaking 12 batteries. I might have to take it next year. Just so many ideas though that I want to try with the paranormal. Problem is that it starts getting expensive. I'd love to find an infrasound recorder. But I ain't paying the money. Motion activated camera. Well, trail cams are motion activated, but again, for the hunters out there, it's like, how do you find a trail cam that won't make you go broke on batteries unless you get a rechargeable one. I also want to, yeah, I want to do something again other than the prison next year. Try to do maybe two big investigations. I got to reach out to places and see if I can just come in for a night, fly in the day before, rest, go in the next day, take the next day off, and fly back. I mean, a nice little 3-day weekend somewhere. I'd like to go back home and see if I can find some places to investigate. Hey, I've got over 500 shows on Twitch with viewers. So, how about you give me a view and you get free advertising, or give me a discount on the investigation? You get, get free advertising. Think that's a fair trade. All these residual door sounds. It's not wind because again there was no wind. I just don't know. Let me look something up real quick. Uh, they have some that are $50, $60. 40 $42. I might have to get one just to see how it works. You never know. What's up, TM? Welcome back. I say, guys, I've been struck freaking tired all of a sudden. Holy crap. I had to turn off that camera and yawn about a dozen times. And the shitty thing about this is all these spikes could be an EVP. Hi ho, hi ho. This is where I think I'm going to try to put Stream Raiders into the stream. I think Stream Raiders might be a good attachment. When we have a game to play, when we have no EVPs. Maybe, but you get some alerts almost every half hour. Yeah? True. Very true. And these sound like they're right next to the recorder. I'm overhyping it. No, you can't, David. That's the downside. There's a place here called the Dungeon Swamp. You investigate out there a few times, never see anything, just felt spooky. The ghost hunting guy come up, so there's a tent. Here's all kind of things freaking out. He says he sees lights and whatnot. Well, there's houses out there, dumbass, right? Long ago, people were hung and murdered out there. Places like that are great, but the only other downside is all the nature sounds you have to cut through. Even going out and investigating graveyards and cemeteries and freaking ghost towns is all nature. And if it's even breezy out there, option turn off sound is there is for viewers. Yeah, I think TM. I'm gonna look into it. But yeah, some of these outdoor places, they're great. Not a lot of people go to them because they don't want the interference, or they just don't want to take the time to go there. Once I get the Jeep fixed up, I'm gonna start going to some of these abandoned towns. They're out in the middle of nowhere. You have to off-road to get to them. And so, some of them are like you can go in a car. The others you have to off-road. I think knocking them off and doing investigations of them, nobody's really ever done it. Full of wind exactly. Desert, rain, certain times a year. But I've seen flash floods move in like that. Just boom. That's kind of the risk you take. The wind, you can't avoid. But you got wildlife, you got snakes, you got coyotes, you got burros, you got bighorn sheep. You got possible bums that come out into those areas because nobody else is around. Hermits. There's just so many factors when you go out. And that's when you go out to these areas, you do not go unarmed. Crickets are noisy. Exactly. Just a lot of people don't take that into consideration. I would need those I need those wind socks for every one of the recorders. even in area, their crickets are noisy even in residentials. It's like crickets you're never going to get away from. Last year we had one of the recorders at the prison where it was a cricket for hour and a half. So you're not getting away from it. Those noisy little bastards, right? Wow. I think this is. These patterns say all residual. There's a couple in here that look interesting. It's got to be tires on the highway. Do not have dangerous animals there unless you step on them. Snakes and shit, probably. Like here in Nevada, you go out in the you go out in the desert middle of the night. You better have boots on because those snakes. Some of those snakes will just come up and get you. That's multiple doors. It definitely sounds like residual locks dropping at once. Yeah, it does, Moose. Problem is, there's nobody in there. At this point, we are. Pause this real quick. We're 38 minutes into this recorder. We're still setting up gear. We've already left. We've already probably left the top area on top of the hill. We're probably either down in culinary or on our way up to execution. So nobody should be in this building. Night one, there was only 3 people investigating: Deads, his girlfriend, and me. I don't think any of the docents came up the hill. Actually, I take that back. I know Chris came up with us at one point. Beyond that, nobody else on prison grounds. We had the prison to ourselves. Now, the prison wants 500 a night minimum. If I wanted, do 3 nights, $1,500, is just do the prison for 3 nights by myself. Too much ground to cover. But I know this next year I want to spend as much time in execution as I can. I'm really going to push it to see if I can get into the execution chamber. They've let every TV show in there. So, we're going to push it a little bit this time. Yeah, rattlesnakes. I've walked up on rattlesnake nests before. I've walked up on a group of them. It's no bueno. You hear that? Okay, I'm just gonna walk backwards really fast so the snakes can't smell that I just shit myself. You've heard Michigan rattlers. Any rattlers, cottonmouths, river snakes? River snakes not so poisonous, but cottonmouths, ooh boy, they be nasty. It's what I feared most in Missouri is cottonmouths. Grass snakes and European adders. Never heard of the second one. Can we get at least one EVP, please? I don't care if it's a hello. But what was it? Was it night one or night two? I covered every building on the hill. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and 13. I didn't put too much down in the main house. I think it was night two. I could be wrong. But it just seems like each year the EVPs get better. Not necessarily in quantity, but in quality. Yeah, you can have 500 Class B EVPs, but you get 200 Class A's. Makes it look that much better. What's up, Tundra? Welcome back. Did you get your rest in? Did you get your nappy nap? When you wake up from a nap and think you can take another one. I've been there many times. Both of them lived in dry grass like Summer House and Beach Dunes. Okay. Kind of like rattlesnakes. Dry grass for sure. Tall dry grass, brush, leaves. Don't see them in normal forest and dog park. Probably not. They try to keep those areas pretty clear of snakes. Most parks are good about that. You're never gonna stop it, but for the most part, yeah, you're not gonna see them. I said that's one of my biggest fears of going out investigating in the wild is snakes. In a book about dreams, not sure if I want to buy it, but curious. Psychic Dreaming, Lloyd Auerbach. That's probably one of the best ones. You can get it on Amazon, Tundra. One local news one night they showed a video say, look at this ghost this guy caught. Watching the video, it's like there's a spider walking over the video. Oh my god. Moose. Yeah, I've seen shit like that. It makes you weep. I'll go back. Might have been just a door. Yeah, nothing. Yeah, news station took down the video and they probably took it down fast. Said there's a paranormal team here in Vegas. Filmed themselves trespassing. I called them on it. I downloaded the video. Then I called them on it. They removed the video, edited out where they trespassed, re-uploaded it, and I see the spider now too. Nice. I called this team out, and like I said, they removed the video, put it back up after they edited out them trespassing, and I basically commented after that, I'm like, it's not going to matter anyway. I said I already sent a copy of the video to the sheriff's department. Enjoy your time in jail. They were trespassing on a state park and video themselves doing it. Like, what do you mean you got a copy of the video? YouTube downloader's an amazing thing. Sent it right to the sheriff's department. And yes, they got a trespassing charge. Literally, I shit you not. There's a sign. There's a barbed wire fence around this area of the ghost town with one of the original houses that's still in great condition. Multiple signs on each side of the fence saying no trespassing. They filmed themselves on video camera ducking under the fence right by the no trespassing sign, videoing themselves going on the other side of the fence. You could see the reflection in the window of the fence behind them, then going in the house, videotaping the fence outside that says no trespassing on it. Yeah, I sent it right to the sheriff's department. They were like, you're joking. It's like, nope. They're like, we know who they are. They're out here all the time. They're going to be banned from the area. And they were. They were banned from that park or from that little ghost town. We know station want to show a fake video or video of natural thing without talking. Yeah, TM, exactly. I was on the news here in Vegas 3 years ago on Halloween, 4 years ago. And we had the news crews out there filming our investigation. We actually got evidence live on camera. Literally live on camera. Couldn't debunk it. So it's I know what you're talking about there. I don't know why these shows and stations put out anything before checking it. It just boggles my mind. It's all about ratings and scaring people. Well, anybody with half a conscious thought can look at that and know it's bullshit. Just saying. It's not that hard to debunk if you've got a common shred of thought in your head. Most of these people, it's like they just want attention. That's all they want is attention. I mean, hell, I could probably throw some bullshit on here and have 10,000 viewers. Not gonna do it. Why? Because my integrity will not let me do it. There's our crow. There's our damn crow in the background. Where's Nick when you need him? Oh my god. They said it was a real TV station. They said yes. Problem is, it gets right around Halloween. Yeah, everybody wants to see Scary. Most of them know it's fake from the beginning. They just want that quick, rush of adrenaline. That one quick, jump scare. That one quick that'll just make you jump for a second. You're like, I don't even know why that scared me, but it did. And I think that's the thrill of it, and I think that's the rush for most people. They don't want the long, drawn out investigations. They want that quick rush and have it be done. They want to make fun of ghost hunters. Yeah, they do. They don't realize we get jump scares on almost every investigation. We have shit we can't explain where it's like, wow. But if people just paid attention, nah. Okay, Crow needs to shut up. Crow or Raven? I think it's a Raven. Got jump scared. I telegraphed that one, Tundra. I severely telegraphed that one too. I'm surprised I got anybody on that one. very sensitive to surprise loud noises. I'll have to remember that. As soon as you come in, every time just jump scare. You sometimes jump when you hear the debunk sound. Also unfair you can read chat. I don't see the redeem until it plays. Like there's that time delay on my side. I don't see it. I don't have Twitch running on my screen. I've got chatbot running. So TM, it delays. I don't see it. If you're seeing it make me jump, it's making me jump. So yeah, we're even on that one. My jump scares and your jump scares work the same. Even the ones for bits, I don't see them. Yeah, I wouldn't be that unfair to you guys, TM. Put that time delay on there so I don't see it. But like I said, most of the time it doesn't get me because I'm used to investigating. I'm used to weird shit happening when I'm investigating. Uh, Certain sounds do get me though. I'm not going to tell you guys which ones. Jack's good. He's kind of pouting right now. Finally got around to putting a collar on him. And took him a couple hours to stop fighting and realize I'm not going to take it off. Yeah, thanks, David. He's just trying to get used to the collar, and he won't come near me. So I know he's pouting. Like the first one I tried putting on him, he just wasn't having it. I mean, he was literally clawing at it, trying to get it off. So got a different one, and he's kind of just accepting it. He's not trying to claw it or bite it off. So we'll see how that works out in the next couple days. When he's up until about 4 o'clock, he was good. After he had dinner, freaking terror. Pets, your dog is okay. Thank God, pets are okay. They're part of the family. I remember you saying something. I just don't remember what it was. But as something happens, as long as the pets are okay, that's good. That's a good sign. Humans are a different thing. And a fucking crow again. I thought he was not. Oh, that's never easy. Thank God he's gonna be okay. Pets only require food, shelter, and love. Yes. I will say one thing though, Jack, he's my shadow. Generally, he's my shadow. When I'm home, he does not leave my side. I know, in my opinion, animals under or pets understand exactly what we're saying. They say they can only understand the tone. No, I think animals fully understand us. Uh, just the way pets show affection, I think animals fully understand us. Uh, yeah, I think he knows that I saved him from the warehouse, and I brought him home. He has food, shelter, and love. So I know that he knows. And I every now and then when he's being a pain in the ass, hey Jack, don't make me take you back to the warehouse, and he just looks at me like you wouldn't do that. Like it would crush him if I did that. Your sister's dog is like that sometimes. Her dog chills with me in my room. But yeah, pets are family. You want to make sure that they're safe and healthy. Like when Jack was in the warehouse, when we finally caught him, he was the only one who would let me near the cage we caught him in. At that point, I knew I was bringing that little shit home, wherever he's at. And watching these patterns on the residual doors, it looks like it just repeats about every 6 or 7 minutes. Haven't had that one before. But again, a lot of these pods up top, I don't anticipate much out of them. I mean, 12, 9, 11, or yeah, 9, 11, and 12 are the ones I anticipate shit out of. Because those we actually went in and investigated. I think we did these other buildings too, but only for a few minutes. A couple of them, like I said, you walk in and it's just musty, old, stale air. And anybody who's been into an old building, you know that must smell. It's hard to breathe. You can't concentrate. But one of the live streamer I follow had guest visit to her country. One of them said when they found her in a trash can. Wow. That's insanity. Damn. Throw the baby out with the bathwater. And scary thing is, that's a real term. And not a lot of people know where that actually came from. And they weren't trying to get rid of the children. There are some cultures that do not like girls because girls are not allowed to work from old culture. True story. That's like in I think it's was it old uh, old China and old Japan. They used to keep buckets of water next to the bed. If they gave birth to a girl first, they drown it. Kind of fucked up in my opinion, but that's history, right? Not a place to deliver them anonymous. Orphanages. I know, like way back when, you could drop them off at the door of a church or a monastery. Oh, Sarah, holy shit! There's a blast from the past. How you doing? Just working and streaming. Ain't doing much on this end. fire department, a modern door in the wall. Yeah? Scary to think the way they used to do things. It's like, what the freak was going on with society? I mean, I know during the Great Depression they did that sometimes. Sell your kids off. That way people could take them to farms and let them work the farms. Not bad, just found out I'm type 1 diabetic. Ooh. Sorry to hear that, Sarah. Hope you can get that regulated. Yeah, get that shit under control. We're actually on. We just started at the prison. Yeah, we're on the third recorder, Nevada State Prison Part 4. We're 30 EVPs in. We're not doing it like we did last investigation. We're doing each recorder night 1, 2, 3 before we move on to the next recorder. We're not doing all of night 1, all of night 2, all of night 3. We're doing it 1, 2, 3 in order by recorder. So we're trying it something different this year. And I think it's working a little bit better for us. We're not overlapping investigation, the same, analyzing the same spot. But I didn't stream for almost 2 months, a month and a half, because I'm still waiting for my ceiling to get fixed. Had a rainstorm and it collapsed the ceiling in my room. So we got behind, and we're almost caught up. Been doing some weekend streams to catch up. We tried getting through some of the Goldfield Hotel stuff. Once we finish the prison, we're going to try to go back through it. There's still a couple GoPros to go over, but the audio, there's so many people in the hotel investigating, it's made it almost impossible to analyze it. Uh, the problem is, Sarah, yeah, you're right, but they didn't know any better. When we did the hotel, uh, Danielle, who's helping rebuild the hotel, uh, also used to be a member of Sin City Paranormal with us. She invited some friends and family that were in town to come investigate, uh, because she was going to be stuck there all night. She had family in town. We said to go ahead and let them in, but they kind of trounced around and just made a lot of noise. I know they didn't mean to, but at least they identified themselves when they saw the equipment, which was good. At least, like with the prison, I let the other teams know, hey, I've got equipment spread out. When you see it, just acknowledge it. Keep up doing what you normally do. Just acknowledge the recorder. For the most part, they did at the hotel, but they were still noisy. which it's all right. I mean, it's not like I'd never investigated the hotel before either, and it's not like it's my last time investigating it. Yeah, in TM, they did that in the 1700s. They did that in the 20s, 30s, and 40s here in the states. You know, give the children off to sharecroppers. You know, Great Depression, they can't afford it. And again, I knew there was going to be probably not going to see any evidence on this until we get in here to investigate. Excuse me, guys. Oh. Sorry, guys. My nose is just itching extremely bad tonight. I hope I'm not getting a cold. I hope it's just allergies. Because this is crazy. It's almost uncomfortable, but it's just itching both sides all the way down. Try not to scratch my nose on camera. It's so freaking unprofessional. And that's electronic. I'm just happy we put that 500th show in the rear view. Uh, I'm gonna try once this next year hits. Try some nose spray. I'm gonna have to after the show for sure. We're gonna try to keep up as much as we can next year. Uh, 1700s, 1800s, they drown babies if they did not marry the father. That's why Minnie Castle claims to have blue, white, gray, brown lady ghosts. I'd love to investigate the castles. Problem is, pause this real quick. I saw a YouTube video a while back. How far back in time can you go to where you could still understand English? Uh, Most of them is only a myth. I don't think it's a myth, TM. A lot of them did kill the babies. Uh, but they were saying, I think you can go back to late 1600s, early 1700s, when you could still have a basic communication with us with the people of that time. Once you start going before that, the dialect changes. So investigating these old castles, if they're built in the 1400s, you're not going to communicate with them. You can try, but you might get some sort of like Gaelic or, whatever region you're in. And that's why I laugh at these paranormal shows like, I'll go ahead and say Ghost Adventures when they went to Pavia, that island with that isolated island. They didn't. Nick spoke Italian, but they're all in there speaking English. When they went to what is that? Brahms Castle. You're not speaking Romanian. You're speaking English. They're speaking Romanian. You're not going to get any freaking EVPs or evidence out of that. Come on, it's like common sense. The spirits aren't going to jump up and go, "Hey, how you doing?" No. The Hellfire Club. Ooh. I'd like to investigate that one what is it, the Sheep's Head pub or Ram's Head pub in Ireland, supposed to be one of the oldest pubs in Europe. Goes back to like the 13 or 1400s. I'd love to be able to investigate that. Even if I can't understand it, I'd love to be able to investigate it. Even what was the name of the castle? I forget the name of the castle in Scotland I want to go to. No one speaks today. No, only historians know. I mean, you have people who can speak it because they study it, but it's not spoken fluently anymore. Even Latin is starting to disappear. A lot of priests are not speaking Latin anymore. Yeah, they have the masses in Latin, but old old world Latin is disappearing. 20 years from now, people are going to be speaking street slang. What we're talking now is not going to make any sense. The way society's going right now, it'll all be thug. It's not English, it's thuglish. Yeah, if you can speak Latin, you can speak any language. And that's what I've been told. If you can learn Latin, every other language is going to be easy. Or every other European language will be easy. Tundra, have a good night. Yeah, Sarah. Even if it's just a hello and can you tell me your name? So that's some of the best things about like, and I'll only you hear me say about cell phones on investigations. Look up how to say certain things, and language isn't just do English to whatever language, hit translate and have the app, have the phone say it for you. They still use the name on all wiki pages with a scientific name. Yeah. All we have is residual door sounds. This is depressing. We got about another 25 minutes. Let's see if we can change this. Hopefully get one EVP, please. Please, just one EVP.
Are you in here?
I'll, Sarah, though, I'll tell you what bothered me about this. They let us leave one of the recorders overnight. Uh, so we left a recorder run in execution when we left for the night. We had over 12 hours to go over, 10 to 12 hours to go over. We had 10 to 12 hours of silence. I was I was honestly a little crushed about it. Knowing this is going to be left there when nobody's in the prison, I thought we'd get some residual EVPs because I left it in last night's cells. Not the case. I'm in here somewhere, right, Moose? If I want to show a streamer something, but I can't find the English name for it, I often send the Latin name so they can Google that. I still want to take Latin though. But Babbel doesn't offer it. Probably best bet is look for some audiobooks. You'd think with all this residual we'd get something by now. If we don't get anything on this recorder through night 1, 2, or 3, I'm not allowed to choose recorders anymore. I'll let the viewers decide. Be right there with David. I'm not allowed to choose recorders anymore. Even a fuck you, but nothing but silence. We haven't even had any insults. 30 and no insults. But then again, we're not investigating in here right now. And 7 was one of the more violent cell houses. You know, I think 7 and 12 were the worst. But we'll have to see when we get to 12 too. But remember, 12 had Joseph Wright, Neil Pitney, and all the worst of the worst. Got one figure last night. What's up, Nick? We were just talking about you earlier. We had crows. We had about 20 minutes of crows. Yeah, and we're up on top of the hill right now. I don't know if it was Jasper, but it was a crow. Again, so you guys know, we are in this building right here on the right. We got 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. We're in building 7, which is this one on the right. That's building 7. Oh, hold on, hold on. Hold on. I don't know. That might be an echo. That might be echo. It sounds like a voice, but I don't know. Let's find out. Let's get this cleaned up. Effects, reverb. Back in with a vocal enhancer, and we'll check it. Nope. Echo. Debunk. "15 pieces of evidence in your own home." Like I said, be careful with that, Nick. Be careful investigating your own home. I'm glad you're getting evidence, but please, bud, be careful with it. If there physically is something there, you're going to have a hell of a time getting rid of it. Oh, excuse me, guys. Water went down the wrong pipe. All right. All right, nothing. And what's up, Dead? To see you snuck in. How's it going? Try not to cough up a lung here.
I am Lucifer, the devil in the flesh.
That's why they're trying to bug you. In the words of Zach, it's a demon. Yeah, you got demons. Sorry, I can't say that with a straight face. Or both, Nick. Or both. Tell you they're here and to mess with you. They've probably been here long before you got there, and they're going to be there long after you leave. Maybe they died somewhere close. Who knows? least we know next year. We even said this on the last investigation. Up on the hill, we're going to watch where we put recorders. We didn't. We went right back to 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and 13. So, and we did it on all 3 nights. They haven't touched you or done you any harm because I think you haven't pissed them off. Just don't communicate with them all the time. Please. Even acknowledging them. One of these days they could not be doing anything. The next thing you wake up and you can't move. And you feel like something's choking you out. Just remember that I warned you about that. You wake up, you think it's night terrors? That's the spirits really putting you to the test. That's when you go get some white sage, St. Michael's prayer all over the house. Be gone, demons. You know, be gone. You're not welcome here. You know, I've had to tell people to do that a lot. Hey, Brett, you know, I woke up with Ignore Them Simulator. Once it reaches that point of physical, you can't ignore them anymore. Or taking him from behind. Turn into a succubus or an incubus. Turn into a bisexual incubus. Who's your demon? Who's your demon? Who's your demon? You're my demon daddy. If you've acknowledged them at all, you're not ignoring them. You try to photograph them, you're acknowledging them. You better call me Daddy Demon. He's gonna be your double D. You said you wanted a pair of double Ds. You didn't say how you wanted it, though. Ignoring been working, but they don't know that you're keeping notes. Keep it that way. Don't talk to them. No motorboating for you, right? My God. Where's this stream going tonight? Back on track. Back on track. There's a track. It's broken, but it's there. What's up, Korg? How you been, buddy? We got Corgi and Deads in here. A broken down old track. Yeah. In the hospital with pneumonia? Oh. Bud, I'm sorry. I hope you feel better. Keep your hands off the male nurses. Pneumonia, man. Just get over that, because this strain of pneumonia that's going around is no bueno. It's no joke. Hopefully you get out of there soon. Oh no. Some 85-year-old that screams constantly. There's a cure to that. It's called pillow over face. Either that or just start singing nursery rhymes. Start talking to yourself. Start talking to yourself in the third person. Talk to yourself and just call yourself by your first name, and you'll shut him up real fast. He'd be like, "Can I change rooms, please?" Okay, we've had crows and ambulances and an airplane. Everything but EVPs. Start talking to your shoes. You're hallucinating. Your shoes have tongues. Kind of look at your shoe, hold it up, start talking to it. He's like, "What are you doing?" It's speaking in tongues. Says something like this: "Are you sure, Master? Are you sure he's the one?" He'll make it look like natural causes. What's the difference for a private room? Sir, we're already over capacity. We're actually going to add another guest to your room. We're going to bring in a cross-dressing schizo for you. You feel jinxed. You shouldn't have jinxed it. Now watch you wake up middle of the night with something standing right over you. You could just jump up on the bed and just rip off your hospital gown and start masturbating furiously. Just right out in the wide open. And be like, "I need my own room." They might put you in the psych ward for that for about 72 hours. But at least you'd get away from it. You're going too far. Nick, you're still new. There's nothing about too far for this guy. There's nothing about going too far for me. Maybe a tight sweater. Just a freaking really tight turtleneck with nothing on below. Not as new as the day I followed you. Touche. But again, I think of ways to mess with people. Some of this shit just comes out of my mouth. Even I question it sometimes. I'll say it, then I'm like, "Ooh, did I cross the line?" What line? That's why I put an 18 and over on the stream. Because of shit like that. If they'd bring you an extra pillow. In case it's alive. Well, technically it is. You just can't see it. For all you know, you could have a ghost standing next to you breakdancing, and you'd never know. It's trying to make jokes, yeah? Like I've always made the joke, have you ever waken up with a funny taste in your mouth? The ghost was having fun with you. Yeah, you get that little white crust in the corner of your mouth because you're so thirsty. Moose, that bastard. Right? Freaking ghosts molest me when I'm asleep, not even give me the courtesy of a reach around. Ghost jizz, ghost blowies. Where's MDS when you need him? There's your frickin' crow, Nick. No one ever needs MDS. I guess a ghost party happened last night. And Jasper the Crow. And this isn't even the main cell block. This is up on the hill. This is on the freaking hill, so he's got to be flying around being like, okay, where's the recorder at? And it sounds like people are in there opening doors. That's the weird thing. It sounds like people are physically opening doors. That sounds like a faint voice. Definitely sounds like a faint voice. You're sitting in the dark. I wish you hadn't said that. Because I got sounds to make the dark even scarier. Why does that sound like it's saying, come play with me? Crazier than crazy itself. What gets me was, what was it, Saturday's show? Friday's show? We actually had a guy in prison watching our stream. He's like, I'm sitting on a tablet in my jail cell watching your show. I looked up prisons on Twitch, and you're the only one that came up. I'm like, wow. Now it's like, dude, it's like, I thought it was one of the docents of the prison. It was just like, it said prison in the name. I'm going, only other people I know in the prison would be Susan, Tammy, Michelle, Chris, or Joe. And I'm going, and I was he wasn't trolling. That's the thing. It doesn't feel like he was trolling. He was talking about his case, and if he was trolling, he did a good job. But that was some slick shit. Let's see if we can get something out of this. He might have been trolling. If not, if he was, kudos to him. Kudos to him for trolling. But if he wasn't, that was cool as shit. But I do know, I've seen some videos where some of these prisoners do have tablets. They are allowed to have that because it keeps them calm and out of trouble. I've actually seen reports of stuff like this. So that's two evidence at once. Okay. Oh, for you. Denoise. Yeah, and that's the other part is like internet. Okay, I can buy it. I can in some of the new prisons. Uh, if they're locked in their cells, at least they can, if they're taking online classes and videos, and they can go to certain sites as long as it's educational. Yeah, I mean, you can put safety locks on any internet. You can't go to porn sites. You can't go to adult sites. You go to Twitch, at least you can interact. But yeah, it's 50-50 on that. 50-50. I don't think that's going to be any evidence. Yeah, TM, that's the other side. They can talk to people that, yeah, might have been in collusion with them. But again, that shit's monitored. They can see what sites they go to and monitor it. Am I going to give it, like I said, 50-50? See something real quick. Okay, here it is. And I just looked this up because I wanted to see. This is directly from Google. Tablets offer specialized content and service for inmates to use during their stay at correctional facilities where available. The tablets allow access to your loved ones to a suite of education and entertainment content, plus the ability to place phone calls and send messages and get general on site support. So, yes, it is possible. And they can play pre approved games. So, they do have internet access in their cells. They can do it. It just depends on the prison. TM probably not since it's monitored. They have to set up through a prison account. So I assure you that's monitored. If they're going in, I'm damn sure that if they see Twitch pop up, whoever monitors all their internet activity is looking in to see what they're doing. They're probably they were probably monitoring. So they probably don't have access to porn, but they do have access to entertainment. Twitch is entertainment. And since he appeared to be a younger kid, a younger guy, that's probably what he's into is gaming. I mean, if you would have gone into Twitch and looked at the game, Prison Breakout, I'm sure they probably would have shut it down. Maybe also what we talked about, yeah. So he wasn't giving us details, but he gave us enough to know. Here comes an ambulance. Look at the waves. He did say the story. I mean, as long as he didn't release court information, he told us what he did. He told us what he's guilty of. He didn't give us any names. He didn't give us locations or details, or details, but he said what he did, and he admitted his guilt. So I don't know the rules and regulations on that, but if he was in prison, I gave him that compassion. I gave him that understanding that I've dealt with people who have been in and out of prison because of previous jobs, and that there are people on the outside who will not look down on them for what they've done. So I'm going to treat everybody that comes in here the same. So, and I hope, if he goes back and watches the VODs, he hears this. I hope the best for him. I want him to get out, get on his feet, and have a normal life. We sit here hours at a time analyzing evidence from people who did not make it out of prison. And that's got to be a stark realization for him. Listening to EVPs of people who died in prison and realize he could do the same thing. Not only is it educational and entertaining, but it's also like, wait a minute, this is real shit. These are voices of people that died here. I don't want to be one of those people. I don't know. So we've only got 9 minutes left on this section of the recorder. I'm not going to cut the show with 9 minutes to go. We're going to finish out this section before we call the show. Maybe he just wants to see if others from his prison were streaming. Possible. But, and hold on. I don't know this. Is a tablet powerful enough to stream from? I don't think the processor in a tablet would be fast enough. Especially if it's prison internet. You can stream from a phone. Okay. That's right, you can. But prison internet, is that going to be fast enough to upload and download? I mean, that's questions I have, but how far back? How far back? 30 seconds. That's a minute back, so probably a knock. Probably one of the residual knocks. Moose must be losing it tonight. It's just a bunch of residual knocks. Unfortunately. Right. Knocky McKnockerson. That's what it feels like, Nick. This is a downside of leaving recorders static in some of these buildings. You're not going to get much. We've had recorders to where it's like not even knocks. Not even doors, just silence. The fact we're even getting this many residual knocks, doors, clicks is good. Just peer out of nothing except for static and lack of sanity. That the shit thing is, hold on, is white noise is relaxing. Every once in a while, I just feel my eyes getting heavy listening to this white noise. It's like, ugh. What? Oh, yeah, that's right. I got a show. Makes me lose my sanity. Try it for 15 years, Nick. When you, and this is, let me pause this for a sec before we get to this last part. My mentor in the paranormal said, Brent, just remember one thing. The more you record, the more you have to listen to. He's not wrong. I didn't used to do this. I mean, my first couple investigations, I set a recorder down, I walked away. Then he's like, Brent, you still got to sit down and listen to all of this. I was like, what? He goes, you got to go through all this for evidence. I'm going, you're right. So then I was like, I'd only carry a recorder with me. Then when I started doing these large locations, my train of thought switched to I'm going to carry one and I'm going to have static recorders around. So if I'm in there investigating, I have a chance of picking up the evidence on 2 recorders or 3 or 4. Like in execution, we usually have 2 people carrying recorders, 1 in viewing, 1 on execution door, 1 in last night's. We got 5 recorders in that area. Granted, you got 5 different recorders of 6 hours of audio to listen to, but you have a chance of confirming evidence on multiple recorders. That became my train of thought. Sanity, what's that? Right? Exactly. Sanity? Not in this frickin' chat. Not in this show. Sanity is optional, but not encouraged.
I want my duck!
Thank you, TM. That's louder than shit. Okay, that's it for that section. Right at the end of the show, too. TM, thank you. Remind me to keep my headphones turned down. Fucking duck. Ugh. Anyways, guys, I truly thank you for being here tonight. We made it over 2 hours twice today. TM, Nick, Sarah, Moose, Corgi, Deads. I think I said TM. Everybody for being here tonight. Brent got ducked on, right? Had a lot of fun tonight. Sarah, it was good seeing you again. It's good to see you back in chat. Hopefully, you get everything under control. Be kind of frequent in here again. We miss you around here. I'll be back tomorrow night unless I have to work. Right now, I don't know what's going on. It's just as busy as it's been. We'll see. I'll do my best to be on tomorrow night normal time. If not, just make sure and check Discord, and I'll keep you guys updated on that. Anyways, guys, have a great night. God bless, and I'll see y'all later. Thanks again.